Good afternoon and welcome to Pan-African News right here on Pan-African Television. We are coming to you from our studios in Abilinkwe 48 Swanika Street here in Accra. Don't forget that we are streaming live on Facebook at Pan-African Television. We are also live on YouTube at Pan-African Television. My name is Justice Appiah. Now to our top stories for this afternoon. Bernard Mona bailed after appearing before CID yesterday. Also, Bernard Mona jabs Kwandai MP over criticisms. World Bank endorses 500 million for food security in Africa. Details of these stories, including sports, international, and entertainment, will come your way for the next 1 hour. We are going for a short break. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Now moving on to our very first story for this afternoon. National Chairman of the People's National Convention, Bernard Mona, has been bailed after appearing at the Criminal Investigations Department of the Ghana Police Service on Tuesday, June 2nd, 2020. Shortly after his release, he addressed the media and revealed the outcome of his probe by the Criminal Investigations Department, who have instructed him to appear every 2 weeks on Tuesdays.
President Nana Akufo-Addo cannot stifle the freedoms that we are granted by the Constitution. Those freedoms include the freedom to speak. And we will speak. We will dare them and we will speak the truth. Because at all points in time, we must correct the ills in our society, which ills, if we don't correct, have the potential of eroding the peace and stability of our nation. And therefore, this afternoon, I have just gone through a cordial process with the police. My statement is, and I quote, that I made the statements that are contained in the 37 seconds video that they showed to me. And that I stand by those statements and I have nothing more to add. I promised you that whatever I said that occasion, the invitation, I stand by it. We are cautioning them that if they do not heed to us and anything happens to this country, they will not be safe. Well, they said that my comments were conducive for the breach of peace. And I told them that my comments were conducive for the promotion of peace.
Some party faithful who thronged the CID headquarters expressed their continued support for their national chairman and vowed to resist oppressors' rule.
PNC chairman Bernard Mona almost say inviting the NTS into because he will no ebimuka chena bonamuna kaya. I saw government no tata opposition for no anything
You are not stupid. Nanado claimed he won the election with 1 million votes. Why is he running away now? Why is he running away? There are majority of Ghanaians who are not having passports in these countries. We need to only 2 million people have passports in this country. The Ghana card, as I speak, some of us haven't gotten the Ghana card. And they are claiming we are going to use it. Jay Mensah, if he's watching, should be very careful. Without that man called Dr. Bossman, they should be very careful. Ghana doesn't belong to Nanado and his people. Abroad said Westins. Even Obriboy, his classmate, made sarcastic remarks. Nobody invited him. And I want to put it before Obriboy in. If he's a man, he should come out. If he's a man, he should come out. We will face him boot to boot. We will tell them, look, we are not stupid and we are not forced in this country.
We put it anyway. Madam, what's my one million? Why, you know, we were him. And me, if I like to get your words, then I'm from your mama. But and this year, on man, on Maya, you be a one tea, young Frobia, had mentioned an MP by Appiah. This is one go and one cassa. And you know, Ghana for.
Now, still on this invitation by the CID, the national chairman of the People's National Convention, Bernard Mona, once again has taken a swipe at the first deputy majority whip and member of parliament for Kwandai, Matthew Nyindam, for criticizing minority members of parliament who stormed CID headquarters to solidarize with him. Speaking on Pan-African Television's Hot News, Mr. Mona could not fathom why the Kwandai legislator failed to condemn similar acts perpetrated by some members of his party.
Buffoons privileged to go to parliament.
What did he say?
Buffoons privileged to go to parliament. They can make such ugly statements.
Are you referring to?
I'm referring to Matthew Nyindam. Yes, the MP for Pandai.
Repeat that again.
When you have buffoons privileged to go to parliament, they will make silly comments like this. Is he not of the New Patriotic?
Those are fair criticisms.
Is he not of the New Patriotic Party? Where President today, Nana Akufo-Addo, stated that all die be die. Atiwa Kurampo Yechiro Omu Bibi Kakra. What did they show in Atiwa? They showed violence. Did he condemn President Nana Akufo-Addo? Was he stupid? Was he foolish? When they have Kennedy Agyapong, who just ran his mouth like diarrhea, talking anything that comes in his mouth, including telling the people of Ghana that when you see a gunman or an Ewe, you should kill him, decapitate him. Did he condemn Kennedy Agyapong? Is he stupid? Is he foolish? Is he not a buffoon? When you have Sami Owoku, national youth organizer of the MPP, saying that you don't need a gun because when you have to get a gun, you have to get a license. So go and take pistons, the one we pound fufu with. That one, you don't need license to hold it. So you can kill people. Did he condemn that? Is he not stupid? When you have my brother Anthony Cabo saying that if they don't win the elections, Ghana will turn into Afghanistan. Did he condemn it? Was he stupid? So when you have buffoons privileged to go to parliament and they think that they have privilege of monopoly of foul language, we have to tell them.
He was of the view that the police was actually doing their work.
Which doing? Was the police not doing the work when they invited Kennedy Agyapong? Didn't they go to lift Kennedy Agyapong with all the NPP headquarters and stopped vehicles from moving? That time he was stupid, eh? He was foolish. See, this country, nobody owns violence, eh? Nobody owns ugly talk than anybody. So when you get to that privileged position, be careful with what you say, because I am saying that if you allow your stupidity to cross my path, you will be slashed.
Are those words not too harsh?
On who?
On whoever you are using them.
On whoever said that people who came to solidarize with me were foolish and stupid. That person is a moron.
He says the actions were stupid.
I'm saying that person is a moron. Tell him that I said he's a moron.
Our leader and founder of the Oppositional People's Congress, Dr. Hassan Ayariga, says he anticipates political crisis and instability as Ghana prepares for elections this year. His remarks come on the wake of Bernard Mona's appearance before the CID for breach of public peace as tension brews over the compilation of the new voters' register.
The CID issued an invitation to the national chairman of the People's National Convention, Bernard Mona, who is quoted to have said that he will resist every attempt by the Electoral Commission to compile a new voters' register. He was charged with disturbing public peace and billed with a sum of 200 Ghana cedis after honoring the invitation to the CID headquarters. But leader and founder of the opposition, All People's Congress, Dr. Hassan Ayariga, who predicted a low turnout in the ongoing voter registration by the Electoral Commission, says the move by the CID will wreak havoc and destabilize the country.
What I see is crisis. What kind of crisis? A crisis where Ghanaians will not believe in government anymore. Crisis where Ghanaians will not believe in the EC anymore. Yes, political crisis. A political crisis where the Ghanaians will not even come out to vote. The turnout will be very, very low, even if they do intend or even if they get the nod, okay, to compile a voter register. I see a low turnout, and I see Ghana leaving democracy and opting for something else. I don't know, but that's what I see. I see a revolution. What kind of revolution, I don't know. But what I see is a revolution coming. that people will agitate, that people will be quiet, people will see politics as an abuse of law, an abuse of human rights. People will see political power as not the best and will be opting even for a military power. That's what I see coming. And that's my opinion. Because, you see, politics is to believe in each other and understand each other and deliberate on matters of national concern at a very peaceful atmosphere. I remember in 2012, the current president, he did say all die be die. Nobody invited him. Then was John Mahama, or I think, yes, John Mahama was president. But because of political stability, he was left to the hook. They left him. Oh, don't worry, it's just political jargons. Sometimes you don't need to make certain, give certain jargons attention. When you give attention to it, then you give it the very thing it doesn't deserve. You give it now. So it now becomes a problem. People say all kind of jargons just for the time being, just to while away their time and look superior and look pompous. Like he himself, the former president, all die be die. Nobody, even Asla Owusu, went to print all die be die T-shirt and sat on Metro TV, and she was allowed on Metro TV as a guest. I was shocked.
The business mogul also cautioned government to desist from backing the Electoral Commission in compiling a new voters register.
I think that government should be very careful in their bid to defend EC. They have to put their reasoning caps together, and reason has an opposition party, reason has a voter, reason has a party in government, and reason has an ordinary citizen. If you begin to reason in that way, you will clearly see the mistakes of the EC. But if you want to take an adamant position, a partisan position, a position where you don't want to reason, you will come with the kind of attitude the current government is portraying. For me, I think by now the president should have even invited the EC and invited political parties to deliberate on this matter, because it's a matter of national interest and national security and the safety of the people and the right of the people.
Away from that, on Wednesday, June 3, 2015, tragedy befell Ghana as a downpour at the Kwame Nkrumah Circle, coupled with an explosion, left an estimated 154 Ghanaians dead, while others sustained varying degrees of injuries and burns. People had gathered at a Gold fuel station to seek refuge after hours of torrential rainfall when the station exploded, killing motorists, workers on duty, and passers-by who were hoping to go home. Today marks exactly 5 years of the incident.
While the rain was seen as a natural occurrence, the inferno, which worsened the situation, was said to have been caused by a cigarette smoker who dropped a lighter stub into water that had oil floating on top of it. 5 houses, including the Well fuel station, were severely damaged as a result of fire, which also killed dozens, rendering some homeless and injured others. Those who suffered severe burns were susceptible to permanent disability, which could undermine their suitability for the job market. Fear and panic gripped the entire nation as hospitals were littered with dead bodies, cars and houses submerged by heavy floods, coupled with nonchalant attitude to relief effort as a result of the risks involved. 5 years on, victims are still reeling from the psychological effect of the disaster, and yet to be duly compensated by identifiable bodies and individuals. An assessment and evaluation of perennial flooding in Ghana with proven solution is being critically considered. The incident is one of the worst tragedies besides the May 9, 2001 football disaster and November 7, 2012 collapse of the Melcom Emporium to affect Ghana.
You're still watching Pan-African News on Pan-African Television. We are coming to you from our studios in Abilinkwe, 48 Swanika Street here in Accra. We are going for a short break. We'll be back with some more stories. Don't go anywhere. Stay.
your dreadlocks and natural hair.
I am a Cash Crown Salon. Now, keeping natural hair with dreadlocks, no, idea when you make a boma, me know. Now, you who so share and I say maintenance and a lack of knowledge, no, and I'm the air me taika, a brofo, and a bruni, a low, a blowfree to pollute our natural hair with the harsh, dangerous chemicals. In Kassam, we are young Tina. You started training, teaching, preaching the gospel according to maintaining natural hair with this lovely natural organic products. Now, say no you be school now, zebra, na be share unsano ejuma for you to be one of the best locticians in the whole wide world. It's an ejuma way, it's an ejuma osia odi kobe bia. It's an say to be a loctician, no, is a job the world need you today. Na natural hair ya de bia say no e papa na manfuaji atu no stigmatization, no bad names for dreadlocks and natural hair. Entino me boko ko say brana besua sa nimdie we efa dreadlocks, sisters locks, Nubian locks, Afro locks, cultivated locks, organic locks, micro locks, Caucasian locks, twist locks, real lock, hand twist, comb twist, flat twist. Sa no we nyina no brana besua usua wie na yehwe ohomodem bo a etimi eju esan service training academy no ye branches bebre wo Ghana ha etimi employ and I say etimi esu employ outside the country.
If you want to learn all the techniques in natural hair and dreadlocks, please pick up a form in any of our branches. Also, for bulk purchases of our natural herbal products, please call 0542 126072 or 0277 454287.
Mikesh is the king of dreadlocks.
You don't know Stonewall representing, I said dreadlock to the world. BOT. Your natural hair is the crown of your glory. Mikesh! Why you pay?
Welcome back. Away from Ghana, let's go to Cameroon, where Cameroon has recorded a rise in new coronavirus cases after reopening schools on the first day of this month. The Francophone nation reported 254 new cases on Monday and 188 on Tuesday.
Government said it had put safety measures to protect learners. That included cleaning of classrooms and distribution of sanitizers and face masks. Final year students and university students who resumed studies were sitting meters apart. Education officials have threatened teachers who failed to report back to school after some of them expressed concern about the rising COVID-19 cases. Cameroon has confirmed 6,585 coronavirus cases so far, including 2,000 deaths.
Now, Nigeria's President Muhammadu Buhari has backed the head of the African Development Bank, Akiwuni Adesina's re-election bid despite allegations of corruption and abuse of office against him. He has denied all the allegations and was cleared of wrongdoings by an internal investigation, but U.S. Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin has called for an independent probe.
The Nigerian banker, a former agriculture and rural development minister, will seek second term at the bank's annual general meeting in August. He visited President Buhari in the capital, Abuja, who reiterated Nigerian support for his re-election bid. Akinwumi Ayodeji Adesina, born on February 6, 1960, enrolled at the Obafemi Awolowo University, where bagged a bachelor's degree in agricultural economics. He pursued his doctoral degree at the University of Purdue and was elected to succeed Dr. Donald Kaberuka as president of the African Development Bank on September 1st, 2015. The 2017 World Food Prize awardee is also the first Nigerian to have the continent's financial body headquarters in Abidjan.
Let's do some health story, but we are looking at the health benefits of bay leaf, the unique medicinal source. The bay leaf is an aromatic leaf commonly used in cooking. It comes with a wide variety of health and nutritional benefits.
Comes in different types and with different properties, such as bay laurel, which has a distinctive fragrance and used to flavor soups and stews. Some other types are California bay leaf, Indian bay leaf, Mexican bay leaf, amongst others. The leaves contains 1.3% essential oil and lauric acid, which can kill harmful pathogens such as bacteria, viruses, and fungi in the human body. It can also be used in the pantry or kitchen to repel meal moth, cockroaches, mice, and other food pests.
That'll be all for the local stories. Up next is business.
Na jawti kai mu da do press wa say won ti
make me sis me sre why na me yin kwa na teche won e dai malaria din ya chisa
e da ka akoma 2 years so no dan proken herba mister usi simbadu say from oyire so doctor ka cheni say o malaria mo ani bi oni pedue mu a so no dank antima x yare malaria e be kokora obi wo hono ma ne yem ye ne yanso a so no dank gastro care herba mister omo beton dank phyto care herba mister koko ebe ye hu adwuma ma wapono waposo won tutu dank extra care herba mister obenya hu oden ne watimi anante make afo dank no nyina e di amamo
na ebenya drain nya bi we
pharmacy shop and a herba shop also per dank nu a ye be ma obi
pacho mo number ye say
0266593330
enroi oba penfo oba ma akora nufo ani akora woni mfie du mienu ntime no FDA ahwehwesa edwadie nkrato mu ajatum se eye.
African Center for Capacity Building, AFCAP, organizes the following executive and advanced certificate programs like Executive Certificate in Project Management, Executive Certificate in Human Resource Management, Executive Certificate in Real Estate and Property Management, Executive Certificate in Data and Records Keeping, Executive Certificate in Monitoring and Evaluation, Executive Certificate in Logistics and Transport Management, Executive Certificate in CCTV Monitoring and Installation. AFCAP, where capacity building is our priority. For registration and enquiries, please call 0244-405047, 0242-135523. We have our branches in Accra, Tamale, Kumasi, and Wa. Saturdays and weekdays sessions are available. Admission is still in progress. Enroll now. Join the African professionals. AFCAP, where capacity building is our priority.
Welcome back. Now let's go and look at what is happening in the world of business. The World Bank Group has approved $500 million program to help countries in Africa and the Middle East to fight local swarms that are threatening the food security and livelihoods of millions of people.
Cost Response Program, approved today by the World Bank's Board of Executive Directors, will focus on providing immediate assistance to help poor and vulnerable farmers, herders, and rural households overcome one of the worst local upsurges in decades. ALRP will provide immediate support to affected households through targeted social safety nets like cash transfers, whilst investigating the medium-term recovery of agriculture and livestock production system and rural livelihoods in affected countries. The first countries to be financed under the initial phase of the program are Djibouti, Ethiopia, Kenya, and Uganda, with a total financing package of $160 million. According to the World Group President, David Malpass, the local swamps present a double crisis for countries that are also battling the COVID-19 pandemic and counting losses following a hike in the number of deaths.
Still on the business front, in dealing with the volatility of the price movement on the stock market, the Ghana Stock Exchange has amended its trading rules primarily to enhance efficient stock price discovery and fair market pricing. An official notice issued to the stock market indicated that the GSE will, from June 15, 2020, begin the implementation of its amended trading rules on price movement for the stock market.
Both Zuberi and Khan are members of the Aligarh Muslim University Students' Union and were part of the wide-scale anti-government protest registered in India earlier this year. It is widely believed that
these amended rules, which have been approved by the Security and Exchange Commission, which regulate the capital market, are stated in Rule 30 of the newly approved trading rules and replace Rule 22 of the GSE Automated Trading System. Rule 30 of newly approved trading rules states that for a security whose price is 0.10 Ghana cedis or above, the price change on a trading day shall not exceed 10% of the previous day closing price for security. Secondly, for security whose price is 10 Ghana cedis and above, the price may only change with a minimum volume of 500 shares. Further to this, the rule states that for a security whose price is below 10 Ghana cedis but greater than or equal to 1 Ghana cedis, the price may only change with a minimum volume of 1,000 shares. For a security whose price is less than 1 Ghana cedis, the price may only change with a minimum value of 2,000 shares. Notwithstanding Rule 30 Article 4 above, the price change on a trading day for a security whose price is below 10 Ghana pesos shall not. The year-to-date return for this year stood at negative 5.72%. To date, 3.249 billion Ghana cedis has been wiped off the stock market capital since the beginning of 2020. Instructively, the exchange has directed all lines dealing members to, with effect from June 15th, 2020, apply the following to trades, such that only orders equal or above the designated threshold for each group as stipulated in Rule 30 can change price within the price band of positive or negative 10% of the previous day price or volume weight average price VWAP, and also order volumes below the designated threshold in each group are to be priced at the current market price of that security.
Well, that'll be all for business. Up next is international news.
Hello?
Oh, sound.
Okay, wait a minute. Why? My wife comes and send a message. Hello? What's happened?
It's a child who's will be a quiet say what? A dear sir.
Besides, for a friend, I'm so here too. No, I have text messages here. And my office also. I'm trying to tell you, man. She says, I
mean, so we a guy manu, and may young who could look cry. And also wants a family drilling company limited for Ghana.
What's the name? Family Drilling Company Limited.
You're too far. biofuel, biogas, swimming pool, plumbing works in Yinaso, Yeyebi, Freya, 0240-333-111, and NASA 0244-144-822.
Miampa and we want swimming pool on me see. We want to be here. Family drilling now. Family drilling. Me out
Back now, let's take some stories from our international partners. People's Dispatch. Israeli forces arrested 23 Palestinians from different parts of the occupied West Bank and East Jerusalem on June 1 on Monday. According to the Palestinian Prisoners Society, PPS, among those arrested are 2 former prisoners and 2 minors.
At least 6 Palestinians were arrested from Hebron and 5 from a Jordan Valley village. The reasons for the arrest were not made clear by the Israeli forces. An 18-year-old schoolboy and a 16-year-old minor have been arrested from Beit Tumar town, near Hebron city. Though Israeli forces regularly detain Palestinians, the number of such arrests has increased in the last couple of weeks. Yesterday was the second time in less than a month when mass arrests were made by the Israeli forces. Last month, Palestinians resisted the Israeli forces during one such operation, leading to the death of 2 Palestinians and 1 Israeli soldier. In complete violation of all established human rights norms, including its own laws, Israel has continued the practice of holding Palestinian detainees without any charge or formal trial for months before they are formally charged and tried or released. Some of them are repeatedly arrested without any formal charges. This practice is even more dangerous as the spread of coronavirus threatens the lives of thousands, and those in detention centers are much more at risk. The rise in the number of arrests in the last 2 months is speculated to be related to the proposed annexation of the illegal Israeli settlements in the West Bank and in the Jordan Valley. Israel's new government, headed by Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, has announced July 1st as the possible date for the formal annexation, despite appeals and warnings against the move issued by Palestinians, neighboring Arabs, and sections of the international community.
Student activists in India, Farhan Zuberi and Ravesh Ali Khan, were apprehended by the police on May 28, Thursday. While Khan was released after 6 hours of questioning, Zuberi has been booked under at least 11 charges, including sedition and attempt to murder.
Khan are members of the Aligarh Muslim University Students' Union and were part of the wide-scale anti-government protest registered in India earlier this year. It is widely believed that they've been arrested for challenging government policies and participating in protests. The 2 were traveling in a car when the police apprehended them at Madrak in the state of Uttar Pradesh. One of them also accused the police of throwing a barricade towards their car. Civil society members, including rights defenders and public intellectuals, fear the COVID-19 crisis is being used by the far-right Bharatiya Janata Party-led Indian government to target critics and control dissenting voices. Zuberi's family has claimed that they were not informed by the police under which sections he had been booked. It seems this government is punishing dissenters and all those voices criticizing or questioning them. His brother said, Zuberi is pursuing a master's in social work at the Aligarh Muslim University. Amir Mintui, another AMU student, was arrested earlier in April while he was assisting patients who were stuck at the Jawaharlal Nehru Medical College and Hospital in Aligarh. Scores of student activists in India have been arrested since last December, and popular protests swept major cities across the country following the introduction of the controversial Citizenship Amendment Act and the proposed National Register of Citizens. Many students from Delhi's Jamia Millia Islamia University, including activist Safura Zarga and Miran Haidar, were also recently arrested. Several senior academics lawyers and activists like Ishrat Jahan, Khalid Saifi, and Gulfisha Fatima continue to be incarcerated. Reportedly, over 800 people were arrested in April in relation to the anti-government protest, which had continued until the outbreak of COVID-19. According to Mashkur Ahmad Usmani, former president of the AMU Students' Union, government is targeting leaders and activists based on their religious identities, be it Asif Tanya, Umar Khalid, Safaru Zarga. They want to terrorize the idea of dissent and want to make us learn that we will face the repercussions if we don't bow to their ideology or policies. The spree of arrest also comes at a time when the prospect of securing bail is difficult, with the entire judiciary and legal system halted following the shutdown imposed due to the COVID-19 crisis. Several activists have expressed that the ruling party in India wants to exploit the lockdown situation to its advantage and choke all dissenting voices opposing the anti-people policies of the far-right Hindu nationalist government. The Delhi police is framing student activists who raise their voice against CAA. Maybe they know that nothing will happen in court, but they are making this process a punishment, Kavita Krishna of the All Indian Progressive Women's Association stated on May 21st.
Well, credit to People's Dispatch for the international stories. Up next is sports with Maxwell Woyram Tsigbe. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.